And just like that, the Oklahoma Sooners don't get just one commitment today. They get two, and kind of a shocker commit, because I'm going to tell you, in our circle, a lot of people did not expect this to happen today. Although we thought it would happen in August, we didn't think it would happen on the same day that you get a commitment from the three-star athlete and Andy Bass out of Oklahoma. But the Oklahoma Sooners get a commitment from the three-star cornerback out of Denton Guyer, the brother to the five-star safety out of last year's cycle. That's right. Eli Bowen has decided, hey, it's time to wrap it up and be a Sooner. But guys, before we jump into it, before we talk about it, because we're going to look at film, we're going to look at his intangibles, and we're going to talk about what kind of guy Oklahoma is getting here on the recruiting trail, because a lot of you guys are going to look at his size, and a lot of you guys are going to discount the idea that Oklahoma got a good commitment here. But as Travis Davidson has said on Twitter multiple times, last year's Jim Thorpe winner was 5'9". So there you have it. But go ahead, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, jump down in the comments below, and let me know what you guys think about the pickup of Eli Bowen for the Oklahoma Sooners. I know it was expected, but he's finally shut it down. He's finally decided it's time to be with his brother here at Oklahoma. So Eli Bowen, a three-star, depending on where you look at, ESPN and Rivals have him as a 4-star, 247 and On3 have him as a 3-star. But that's also because, well, he's kind of been out of the season. You haven't really seen Eli Bowen doing a whole lot. So, yeah, he's dropped in the rankings. This season, you're going to see Eli Bowen's stock and the rankings rise significantly. Because when you look at how good the Denton Guyer defense was, a part of that was because of Eli Bowen. So we're going to be out there at least for one game this season, not only for Eli Bowen, but guys like Xavier Ukponu. And so we'll give you guys some more in-depth research on what Eli Bowen actually looks like in his senior season. But if he does anything like what he did last year in terms of anchoring down that defense for Denton Guyer, then you would expect that he's going to probably be a top 250 player by the end of the cycle. I know some of you guys might say that's a stretch, but just trust me on this one. Eli Bowen is a talent that Oklahoma definitely needed to get. And at 5'9", 170 pounds, not a guy that's going to blow your mind in terms of height and all of that, but the dude's got the speed. And the thing is, the dude's just a hustler on the field. Now, what I mean by the speed is he competes in track and field as well. So again, another multi-sport athlete. He ran as a junior 100-meter times of 11:18, 11:34, and 11:45 in spring. And then he also long jumped 20, 11, 25. So when you look at Eli Bowen has all the intangibles to be a great player. And then you look at his stats. His stats tell it all. In his career, 89 tackles, 11 pass breakups. So it tells you Eli Bowen's not afraid to get up there with the best of them, because Denton Guyer has to play the best talent, right? So he's not afraid to get up there with the best of them and try to come down with the ball. He's forced 2 fumbles. He's had 3 fumble recoveries, 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. Now, in 2021, he had 3 interception for a touchdown, and he had 10 interceptions in 2021. But in 2022, he didn't have any, but, that could be due to an injury, right? So you look at Peyton Bowen, and then you look at Eli Bowen. Eli Bowen's numbers last year did dip a little bit, but if he would have been on the field for the entire season, Eli Bowen probably would have been a top 150 player to start this 2024 cycle, which is saying a lot. So you look at Eli Bowen, and we're going to look at the film here because I think this is important for a lot of OU fans to understand. It's not always about the height. You don't need to have a guy out there that is just leaps and bounds taller than everybody else. And I'm trying to find the tab where I have his tape for you guys so that I can pull this up. It's going to be right here. You don't have to have a guy that's got this just extremely incredible height that's going to blow everybody's minds, right? All you need is a guy that's going to get up there and fight. He's going to fight to come down for the ball. He's going to stay with those wide receivers. And Eli Bowen has that speed to stay with those wide receivers. And as you've seen here, he has good vision for where the ball is at. He has a good vision for where the quarterback's going to throw it. So this is a guy that I would expect probably spends a lot of time in the film room, watches film, and learns the quarterback's tendencies. So right here, you see where he's able to kind of read where that ball is going, when he needs to be in the right position, and where to be in the right position. So Eli Bowen was definitely a great pickup for the Oklahoma Sooners, and one that I think a lot of OU fans in time will come to love. And get it, I know some of you guys probably are going to say again, because I saw it in the comments earlier, that it's a 3-star and I need to stop getting hyped for it. But guess what? Someone's got to get hyped for it. Somebody's got to get hyped for this class, because now Oklahoma has 21 commits in this class. If you're counting all the PWOs, I think it's like 25 or 26. But they have 21 commits in this class for a 249.2 composite score, which, when you look at the team rankings, jumps them to number 14 in front of Auburn, right behind Clemson. And you still have other potential commits coming down the pipeline that you're waiting for. What do I mean by that? You're waiting on David Stone. And we're going to continue to leave this Eli Bowen film up so you guys can watch this while we're talking about what else is going to potentially happen. But you have David Stone, right? If Oklahoma is able to land David Stone, the 5-star defensive lineman in this class, that's going to astronomically boost this class. Probably, I would say, into the top 10. It would give Oklahoma a 260 composite score, which would definitely topple Notre Dame and put them right behind Penn State, who's at number 10 with no 5-stars. So Oklahoma at that point would have 2 5-stars, and they would have a lot of potential to move up in this class as some of these 3-stars hit the field. Remember, high school football is starting. So as these high school football players start to hit the field, their stock is going to rise, and you're going to see Oklahoma rise in the recruiting rankings, kind of like what you did last year, right? If you notice, last year, Oklahoma would make jumps every single time they would update the recruiting rankings, because the guys that they had in the class were underrated when they got them. And then they started to rise. I think we're going to see the same thing here. And I know you guys have heard me say it a bunch. But as you guys have been able to see here in the film, Eli Bowen, he has the speed. He has the ability to go up there and attack the wide receiver. He has the ability to go out there and make plays. And I think that's important. We need a dog like that on this defense. And in reality, when you're losing Woody Washington, you're losing Key Lawrence. I'm not sure if Kendall Dolby's going to be able to leave this year, but let's say he has a really good year and maybe he wants to leave. You know, you're going to be losing several cornerbacks this year. You're probably going to be losing Billy Bowman at the safety. You're losing Reggie Pearson. So Oklahoma is going to have some gaps in the secondary that they need to fill. So you need guys like Eli Bowen, Devon Jordan, Michael Boganowski, Michael Patterson-McDonald, Jaden Hardy. You need guys like this to be able to come in and be an anchor to this secondary and for the future of what it could be. And then you expect Oklahoma to go out in 2025 after you have a strong 2024 campaign, potentially put Billy Bowman in the first day 1 or day 2 draft eligibility. Then you look at what they could do with 5-stars in terms of safeties and corners, whether it's Sanchez or you've got Jonah, right? Any of those guys, Oklahoma could try to go after them, land them in that 2025 class, and make this secondary even stronger. So I like where Oklahoma's at here. I like where they're potentially trending for a 5-star defensive lineman. I know I told you guys, hey, Miami was trending there for a while. Now I'm kind of like leaning back to Oklahoma a little bit and saying, hey, Oklahoma might be gaining some momentum in this recruitment. Heard some things on the recruiting trail, things people might like. At the end of the day, still a 5-star defensive lineman recruit. So I could say this now, and then tomorrow morning, it could be all Miami again, right? That's just kind of how it goes. It's 5-star defensive lineman recruitment. So I want to hear from you guys. Go ahead, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are about the commitment of Eli Bowen to the Oklahoma Sooners. Are you guys excited to finally have Peyton Bowen's brother in an Oklahoma uniform?